I'm Shelby.
And I'm Courtney.
We're exploring our past
Looking forward to our future.
and living for the present
All while
while
learning
living
how to
at
live magically.
Hello, hello.
Hey, I'm home and you're not here.
I know,
I'm
just
so
missed you.
sad. I know. How was your
It,
trip?
it was so good. Yeah,
Yeah?
so good. We had a great, great time. It was busy, busy, busy. Brooks, like, truly is a Disney kid.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not kidding. When we like drive through the gates, he's like, I'm in my element. He just is a Disney kid. I don't know.
I love
Drive.
that.
I was a little nervous. He still naps twice a day here.
Yeah.
I was like, we're only gonna nap once at Disney, and if he like falls asleep in his stroller, great, but if not, oh well. And he only did one nap and he was thriving. And I
Great.
was like, oh great, we're gonna get home and he's gonna be a one napper. But nope, we're still on two naps. So it's just Disney, I'm telling you. He just
Yeah.
loves
He knows. Like you don't want to miss out.
he doesn't want to miss anything. Yeah.
You're only free under three for so long.
True. So true.
He knows that.
He gets it. Yeah. No, it was great. This was his fourth trip. What a lucky kid. And
Unbelievable.
Um, but he's more like he's definitely like not understanding more, but like we were on like Mickey's Runaway Railway, and
Yeah.
during the Daisy part where she's dancing, he was like dancing like it's so cute.
Oh,
So it was great.
that's so cute. I mean, you came at least once when you were pregnant. How many times did you come when you were pregnant?
Once.
Once. So like maybe he just knows because he was like in there dancing to stuff the
Maybe.
whole time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And fun to see the McGills, right?
So great. Yeah. The
Yeah.
kids like love Brooks, so they like fight over who's gonna push the stroller. It's so cute.
Cute.
And yeah, it's great. Our families just, work well together. Kyle and Patrick went golfing one day. We took the kids to Animal Kingdom. Actually, here's a funny Animal Kingdom story.
Mm.
We took the kids to Animal Kingdom and we didn't have like lightning lane or anything. We weren't planning on rope dropping. We were just going to get there when we got there. And we had a lunch reservation at Rainforest Cafe, and that was kind of like the plan. So it was like, okay, if there was a long wait, then we'll just go play on the playground. And there was long waits. So we just went and played in the playground. And Ashton and I literally said while we were sitting there, like, wow, we are like so privileged that we just are coming to Animal Kingdom to let the kids play in the playground. Like, how lucky are we?
Yep.
And so we really like took that in and said that. And then we were walking, and it was, you probably know exactly where this is, and I don't, but it was like literally on a walkway were these tortoises, like humongous tortoises. You could see like there was a fence, but
Oh, yeah, like an exhibit.
I guess, but like there was a lady over there who was like, they're never this close to us. Like, this is crazy. There's four of them, and we
Cool.
could really only see three, and they were so close, and we were all like, oh my gosh, look, and the kids were loving it. And I mean, they were massive and they were moving, which was really cool because like tortoises, they're slow, you get it. So
Right,
we're
right.
like taking this in, like, wow, this is so cool. And there's this dad next to us that goes, all right, let's go. We're not here to see the turtles.
Oh my gosh, Disney dads.
I know. And Ashton and I just like look at each other like we are privileged. We are
Right,
very privileged that we're
right.
like, wow, look at these big tortoises. It was just funny. But
It's
um
yeah, a huge luxury to be able to do Disney the way that we do it. And I'm sure as a parent, it's even more of a like a nice thing because it is, a kid's park. Like I'm fully a Disney adult, but there's so many things there for kids.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was, but also, I mean, not to hate on Animal Kingdom, I know we've talked about this, but being there um just then when, I mean, all the wait times are really, really long, but there is like, besides Safari and like the river journey, whatever it's called, that's like basically all Brooks can do there right now. And both, I mean,
Yeah.
besides the shows, but like also
Yeah.
he's at an age where he doesn't really love to sit still.
Sure. He would love Nemo though. There's
We
like
almost
bubbles that fall from the sky.
maybe, but it's like it's really long.
It's 30 minutes.
That's long in a kid's world.
Okay. All right.
But we didn't end up trying it. But like I'm just saying that Safari and the River Journey, they're never a short wait. They're both
Right.
over an hour. So I don't know. Somebody actually just my neighbor across the street, they're taking their 5-year-old nephew and they were gonna do two parks, Magic Kingdom, and she said Animal Kingdom. And I said, check like height requirements because right now at Animal Kingdom, they're like going through a lot. And I don't
Right,
know
right.
worth the price of admission for you guys to spend a whole day there right now,
Yeah.
a little one, because there's just, I don't know, it's very limited.
That's so true. The only thing that came to mind that you didn't mention is the Rafiki's Planet Watch, which I understand probably the destination itself isn't like, unless your kid's gonna pet animals, super exciting for kids, but a lot of kids love trains.
Yeah, we almost did do that. But they have it was there a little tiger over there right now.
Yeah, Basco.
And when Ashton was there just a couple weeks ago, she said it was like shoulder to shoulder to like get over there. And we were
Oh,
during a pretty busy week, so it was kind of like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
chill and yeah. But
That makes a lot of sense. Well, and
yeah,
like you said, because we're so lucky to go whenever, like there's no, it's literally a delight just to go to the playground.
yeah, yeah,
Like, yeah, you don't, it's just nice to be there, to have like music, people to
exactly.
help you, food around. Like,
For sure, for sure. But other than that, yeah, it was
cool.
a great trip.
And
Yeah,
any like review notes about you were at Riverside, right?
we were at Riverside. I don't. mm,
You drove, right? So like the parking didn't, or the proximity to like food court and stuff probably didn't really matter to you.
We were in a decent spot when it comes to that. It's just it is really spaced out.
Hmm.
We actually, well, like Ashton had a lot of issues with her stay, and they
I
usually
saw
love,
that.
yeah, they usually love Riverside, but I mean, I'm not here to speak on her behalf, but like basically, well, first of all, in the rooms, they tell you when they're going to clean because they don't clean every day now, which is
Yep.
totally fine. But
Sure.
we were there for 5 nights and like they didn't come in once to clean our room. Um, and
And you
then,
paid money. Like DVC, that's to be expected, but you
right,
paid like real dollars.
right.
Yeah.
So for us, it was like kind of is what it is. We don't need our room cleaned every day, but for like the McGills, there was four of them. So
Sure.
within a few days, like they ran out of the towels, so they had to call and ask for towels. They called once and just said like, "Hey, do you mind like can we get our room cleaned?" And they said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." They got back from the parks at like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, and they knocked on the door then to clean their room.
No way.
Yeah, and they were like, "No, sorry, like I have my kids." No.
Yeah.
Then it was their last night there, so we had to leave for the airport really early. So they stayed out late and they didn't get back until like midnight. And the battery on their door died, which isn't, of course, that's a fluke thing, totally understanding of that. But so they called the front desk and asked somebody to come down, and they were like, "Oh yeah, yeah, we'll send a runner." Well, they didn't send a runner; they sent a maintenance guy, and they waited forever. And at this point, like the kids are laying on the floor outside
Yeah.
the door at 1 a.m. So like Ashlyn went and talked to them, and they're like, "Well, what do you want us to do?" And she was like, "Send a runner to get me into my room so my kids can
Yeah.
go to bed."
I
And it was
paid to be in the
whole,
bed.
yeah, it was this whole thing. And the interaction she was having with the cast members is just like not Disney like at all. And then eventually they came in. It took over an hour, and eventually maintenance came in and let them in. And she said, "Can we get a late checkout? We're not getting into our room until after 1 a.m." And at first they said no. And then eventually they granted her one. But then a maintenance guy came at 8 a.m. and knocked on their door again. And he was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Please let me show you something." And she was like, "You're going to have to come back. My family is sleeping." Like, no.
What did he want to show her?
She was like, "I don't know. I guess that it was working or something." But she's like, "I wanted it to work at midnight, not."
Right.
It was just a real weird, just so
Wow.
Disney experience. Yeah. So I mean, of course, it's like a fluke thing, so I don't want to like hate
Yeah.
Riverside, but I
No.
haven't stayed at Riverside in a while. And my thing with Riverside and like Caribbean Beach, we're staying at Caribbean Beach in a few weeks with Kyle's family,
Hmm.
and somebody had just asked me like, would you stay at Caribbean Beach or Riverside? And they're basically the same price. And I would
Caribbean
take
Beach.
Caribbean Beach because you have the Skyliner.
Right.
Uh,
And it's like more updated.
yeah. So, anywho,
Interesting. Interesting.
very,
All very interesting.
yeah. So that's that.
Well, I'm glad it was a good trip and fascinating info about kids at Animal Kingdom. That never really crossed my mind before. I don't have kids. I don't think about that stuff, but like you're right. There's really not, I mean, there's not a lot in general to do in that park,
Yeah, I feel like
ride
when
wise.
you and I were talking about it previously, I had was saying like, wow, we're like we lost a lot quickly. But then when we were like going there and we were looking at things to do with the kids, because we were going to make lightning lanes,
Sure.
and we were like, well, this isn't really worth it. Like I had told Ashton, like, you can take the kids and go ride whatever, and like Brooks and I can stay back. That's fine. But like there really wasn't much for him to do.
Yeah.
Just I don't know, kind of crazy.
We have also like truly lost so much in that park recently because we lost like all of Dino Land, which used to at least be Triceratop Spin, but also
Mhm.
there was that Primeval Whirl, which has been gone forever now. But
Yeah.
like the carnival stuff, dinosaur, it's tough to be a bug. Um, just that's like a lot. I mean, for a park that only has like four rides to begin
I,
with. And I
yeah, I
Animal
think
Kingdom is my favorite park. I just it's like really a lot to go down.
at the same time to then replace. And like Ashton and I were talking about it, it's tough to be a bug that just recently closed to become Zootopia. But that's not happening until next year, which they only said like they said like 2026, but does that mean
Right.
like January 2026 or does that
Right.
mean December 2026? But that to me seems like something that could probably mostly have been done outside and then just like brought in. Like any new animatronics that they're putting in could definitely be built outside and moved in. And
I
then
would assume, are they like redoing the there's AJ, he's checking the I've been trying to cook potatoes for like 6 hours and they're just taking forever. So yes, he does wear a hat and shorts because that's the vibes in Florida.
nice, nice.
Sorry. Yes. Um,
It just, I mean, again, let's just say what we always say. We're not Imagineers. We know nothing. But
but apparently they are listening.
they are listening. But in my mind, it just feels like something that could have been easily done outside and then maybe taken like a month or two to like bring it in and plug it in. I don't know.
Yeah. I yeah, very, very interesting. Very interesting. Maybe there's like something we don't know about, like plumbing needing redone or something like
There's gotta be something
major.
because there's it just it's not adding up.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree.
Anywho,
Shout out to the Imagineers who listened to our podcast and immediately took action and started updating the Buzz Lightyear ride. That was legendary.
so good. So
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
yeah. So proud of them for that. Um,
Come
Fascinating how they already had all that content in the hopper, like showcasing all the new designs and
right.
how they work, and that's it's amazing. They really took action.
Okay, but I have a question. So, what is the point of like the D23 thing where they give us all the announcements and all the things that are happening?
Why? Why are you asking this?
Well, because like they come out and they say all these things are happening, but like, why wasn't a Reno of Buzz mentioned? And then just randomly they're like, poof, Buzz is happening. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's great. I'm just wondering what's the point?
Well, I think it builds a lot of hype. I think it's a way. To me at this point, D23 is basically like a big influencer event. It's like
Okay.
a way for them to like spread the news far and wide about things, getting people excited about coming to the parks because like 99% of the people at those events because it's so hard to get tickets and like the whole thing
You know,
expensive, whatever. It's people going for work, like for work. And so
fair.
they go and I think Disney just uses it as like a big promo. But I'm with you. Like why people would have been amped. I don't know. I can't think of even the most purist of Disney purists that would be like, please don't update the
Yeah,
gun on
yeah,
Buzz Lightyear.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I'm not saying everybody would be okay with you like shutting it down and turning it into something else, but it's the same ride, everything you know and love, just like enhanced. That would be like a universal win
I
announcement.
know.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't know. Just a thought. Just thought that crossed.
very,
Okay.
very interesting.
Yeah.
I like that.
Anywho,
You're
uh,
home. It's
I'm
good.
home. Yep.
Uh, we should quickly touch on like a monumental announcement that you made, just like casually.
Yeah, I'm
You
pregnant.
you have a new shirt coming out. Oh, yeah, you're pregnant.
Pregnant.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You announced your gender already, yeah?
Yep, we're having another boy. I'm outnumbered.
You are outnumbered, but I feel like if anybody in this life was meant to be a boy mom, it's you.
It, it's me. Yeah, for sure. I feel, I mean, there's real, everyone talks about like gender disappointment, yada, yada, yada.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I actually feel like I was a little disappointed when I first found out Brooks was a boy.
Yeah.
I just like really wanted a girl. And then when this one came around, I was like, I mean, yeah, it'd be awesome to have a girl. Like I would love to have a girl, but
Of
I just
course.
also just see myself as a boy mom now, and we're just such like a boy family. I
Yeah,
realize.
yeah.
So I didn't really. I was like, yeah, this is like what is supposed to happen for us. So
Well,
it,
I think it's nice too that Kyle and his brother Reed are so close
yeah,
that
that.
it's like a nice, you know how good a good like brother
Oh yeah,
relationship can be.
and so people always wonder, like, was it planned? Which I think is an odd question to.
Ew.
It's very. I don't know why people need to know these kind of things, but yeah, um, we were hoping and like obviously we would love to have kids as like close apart. So this was the goal, and that's the same age gap as Reed and Kyle. They'll be
Oh,
22
cool.
apart. So
That's crazy.
yeah. So that is like what we were hoping for, but of course you never know. So yeah, I mean you never know. Like they could hate each other, who knows? But
Sure. But you're slaying goals is what I'm hearing.
the goal is that they're going to be like best friends.
Yeah. That's so what month are you due or what like season?
September.
September. So that's like fall, a nice fall vibe.
Yeah.
And their birthdays aren't like on top of each other. That's going to be nice. A little bit of breathing room.
2 months apart. Yeah.
That's enough.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, great.
They'll be two under two, which is feeling a little insane. But
Yeah,
I keep reminding myself it's probably going to be like a tough year. And then
sure.
they're going to entertain each other.
You've always had the most beautiful outlook about um, pregnancy and being a mom and like raising kids and
Well,
stuff.
because there's people out there who can't or have a really hard time getting pregnant or just are not able to grow their families. And how lucky are we that we've really had it easy? So I
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like sit here and like lie and say I love being pregnant because I don't, but I'm
No.
grateful that I am, and I'm grateful that we are, and I'm grateful that we have like our family. So yeah,
Well, and like it's gonna be hard either way, parts of
I
it.
everything in life is hard,
That's
no?
what I'm
Like,
saying. Right. Like if you want to sit there and just think about like my stomach hurts or
yeah,
whatever it is, then like your stomach's gonna hurt either way. But if you're just gonna sit there and think about like it how much pain you're in and not like I don't know, the exciting
I
side of it or the like
right. And I even think when you're in like the hard moments of like parenting, like let's be real,
yeah,
Brooks not feeling well today and he's been very cranky and fussy today, but usually for the most part he is a lovely, lovely baby. But like whatever we're going through right here, right now is gonna pass.
right.
And it's the same thing of like when I'm saying, oh, it's going to be a hard year because we're going to have two under two.
Right.
That's going to pass. And like someday they're going to be teenagers and they're not even going to want to spend time with us. So
Right.
like, let's just take it for what it is right now and enjoy it. I don't know.
Yeah. I love that. I'm so excited for you.
Thanks.
I cannot wait to meet the second baby.
I know. Oh my gosh.
I need to start watching golf so I can get some golf names flowing for suggestive purposes.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. We were joking about that. The This isn't going to be his name, but there's Brooks is a golfer
Yeah.
and he is in a different league now. He's not in the PGA. He's in Live. And this other golfer, Bryson, also went to Live and now it's like Brooks and Bryson. And
Oh.
we love the name Bryson, but we're like we just can't do that.
Yeah, I like that name too. Wait, why? Because of
Because
the
like
golf of it all?
the golf of it all, we
Yeah,
can't do.
yeah. Oh my
So,
gosh. Yeah, no pressure, but like baby Tiger Remillard,
yeah, no.
we're waiting.
we my So when I was pregnant with Brooks, Brooks Koepka, the golfer that I don't want to say he's named after, but where we came up,
No. Yeah.
he won the PGA championship. So my brother Ryan keeps saying, "Well, you just have to wait until to see whoever wins the PGA championship, and that's going to be the name."
Oh, I like that. Great.
I'm
Yeah.
like, no,
We're only birthing winners over here.
yeah, I guess so.
I
Guess
like
so.
it.
So
Oh my gosh. Well, congratulations. So
thank,
exciting.
thank you.
Um, yeah.
Surviving, not thriving, but here we are.
I think you're thriving. You just got back from Disney. Like you're living your best life.
Because I like got some energy back.
Yeah.
I also the weather helps for sure.
Yeah, what's the weather like up there?
Because now it's already back to like it snowed the other day. It's like 40s. It
Okay.
Most of this week is rain, and it just
Yeah.
ugh, can't live like this.
Yeah,
Oh God,
I get it. It was uh we left today's what, Tuesday? We left Sunday. Saturday it was like 85 in New York,
no.
and then like it snowed the next day.
Yeah.
For not in New
So
York, but like nearby.
Saturday was when Brandy is
Yeah.
in Connecticut. She's like 3 hours from me,
Yeah.
south, and she posted like it's gonna be 75 and like beautiful today. And I was like, what the actual heck? It's snowing
Yeah.
out here. So it
We
was like,
were like sweating. All of a sudden I was like, I didn't pack for this.
yeah, but like I'm not that far, and it was literally snowing. I was like, what is happening?
Bananas.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Anywho.
do you have anything?
I'm home.
You are home.
I'm living for being home. Yeah, I'm just like, again, going through the like, look at all the counter space we have. Breathe the clean air. Listen, oh, no honking? What a joy. What a delight.
And no pigeon.
So, no pigeon, no pigeon, no. I gotta tell you, without being like a downer, the apartment we were in this last time was truly the worst.
Yeah.
We were on like ground level and there was only one window that truly went to the outside and it had like a big hole in it. And I was just calling it the rat hole because I knew like a rat was gonna come in and it was a
Yeah.
whole situation. But uh clearly wasn't that I'm dramatic, but it felt pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
So I'm just glad to be home in my own space where I control the temperature and I have a car and just the little things in life.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah. So,
Good. Good. And
yes.
happy to see you.
Spec is so happy. Yes.
Good.
Yeah, we're all thriving. We just
I'm
have the Europe for 2 weeks in a backpack person brought two checked bags, two carry-ons, and three like personal items.
Who are you?
We almost died. It was, well, because we were gone for so long.
I know.
Um, it was just like unbelievable. And I brought home like pots and pans, literally like crazy shit, a blender, because I just like needed my stuff with me.
That's fair.
So
Yeah.
Oh, I'm home. Let's just take a moment of silence for being home.
Yes.
Amen.
Amazing.
Um, oh, and I just have to tell you,
Mhm.
we flew home, JetBlue, LaGuardia Airport, and I cannot love LaGuardia enough.
They were,
So,
I follow an influencer who I find very funny on the internet who posted one day they were in LaGuardia and they're like, this is the nicest airport ever. And then that day I saw a post that it was named like
yes,
airport.
it
Yeah.
used to be like the worst, and now it's like literally the best. And we have a Chase Sapphire credit card, so they have a Chase specific lounge there. It's beautiful. They have unlimited rotating menu food.
Yeah.
Like we were there for like 3 hours and the stuff on the buffet changed like four times, or you can order on your phone. They bring it to your table, unlimited alcohol, unlimited mocktails, like really nice mocktails. I
Yeah.
got a free facial in the airport lounge.
Okay.
I got to go into a rest pod it for free in the airport. We just were like really living. It
You
was
were,
great.
yeah, you were living.
Yeah. So,
Uh,
shout out to LaGuardia.
yeah. Shout out to LaGuardia, but real quick, you've never heard me, and I just can't even believe I'm going to hate on Terminal C. Um, so we flew JetBlue, which goes into
Mhm.
Terminal C, and we got in really late, like 1 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
Our rental car place was closed, so we had to go all the way to Terminal AB, which is a whole thing
Yeah.
and just not fun. So,
My friend Kevin was also here same time as you or right after you. And same thing, he came with family. And so they just all like Ubered to, I think, like Terminal A. And then, but he was flying out of Terminal C. So they had to like get from A to basically what you did in reverse. And he was like, this is outrageous.
yeah,
Like, why is it so bad?
I don't know. It was, I mean,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have been as frustrated if it wasn't
Late.
like 1 a.m. And at this point, we already have our luggage. So we have the luggage, we have Brooks's car seat, I have Brooks, we have our backpack. So it was like, I mean, we were lugging it. So it was not ideal. Not ideal.
I believe that. We're gonna frame that as a travel tip for the people at home. Check what time the rental counter in your terminal closes and plan your
Well,
flight accordingly.
yeah, and I will say not all, there was like two that were open. So
And it's something that never would have crossed my mind because if they say you can pick up the car at the airport, I would assume
yeah,
like I would have never thought what happened to you would happen.
you put in your flight info. So like they
Yeah.
should know, oh, they're a little delayed. I don't,
Yeah.
not that I'm like asking for like somebody to work late. Just, but
No.
if somebody's already working late at Terminal AB, then anywho, I don't
Or
know.
like you would have booked a different flight, perhaps.
I
Maybe
would have booked
not, but
a car.
like, or yeah, a different anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
Good,
okay,
good tip for the people.
that is my tip.
Brooks is good. He's sleeping. He's chill.
He's good right now. We have a doctor's appointment later today because I don't know. He's just
For him or for you?
for him.
Oh, because he's like feeling unwell.
Yeah, he's just like he's never fussy
Yeah.
ever, and he like literally like would not stop crying and not stop snuggling, which I'm not complaining about the snuggles because I
Right,
don't get
right.
them often, but he is just not a happy little camper today.
Is that like a post Disney thing you think or unrelated?
Well, he was stuffy when we first got to Disney.
Yeah. Yeah, I
For
remember
like,
you said.
yeah, for like 2 days. It was very odd. And I was like, oh, I hope that because he's stuffy, he's not going to get an ear infection. And then it cleared up and he was literally fine the last 3 days we were at Disney.
Right.
Then, so he was, I don't know, he's been fine. And then he's just been a little snuggly. And today he was like crying like a
He put
lot.
his illness on hold because he didn't want to miss out on the Disney
Mhm.
joys.
Yeah. So I'm a little afraid he has an ear infection that we don't know about and he can't tell us. And
Oh, is he like grabbing his ear and stuff?
no, which
Oh,
is the
so
thing, but
why do you think it's his ear?
because he was stuffy and we flew.
Oh, well, great.
Literally my only.
I mean, that's great guess. Yeah,
And because you don't know if they have ear infections. Like I can't look into his
right.
ear, which is like kind of, they should come up with something.
Yeah, just get yourself an otoscope or whatever they're called.
I don't, it's just like, how are you supposed to know if your kid has an ear infection? And if they go too long with an ear infection, like they can like have hearing loss. It's kind
Of
of
course.
like, how am I supposed to know?
I wonder these things about kids, but also anybody all the time. Like speaking of that specifically, if go on a plane and you are like super congested, you can like blow your hearing out because of
Yeah,
the altitude change or whatever.
great.
Why aren't we telling people that? I mean, like, don't PSA, please don't get on the plane if you're sick. That's
Oh
so,
yeah,
ugh. But like, if you just have like allergies or something, right? Or like
I
you
know.
don't know yet, like, and you're telling me I'm gonna go deaf on the plane.
It's like that. This is real stuff, okay? Like
Yeah.
it's just yeah, okay. Anywho,
Unbelievable. Okay, in the like 5 minutes we have left here,
okay,
uh, not really, we have like 20, but um, I thought we could talk about hobbies and habits.
okay.
And
Wait, I have one more thing. Kind
yeah,
of going
what?
along with
What?
my hobby. I've
Yeah.
been meaning to bring this up for a while now.
Oh gosh.
I need your take. You know how you ask me random questions?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I got a random one for you.
Okay.
Do you think Taylor
Oh my God.
Brown have an NDA?
Taylor and Travis. I absolutely think they have some sort of legal agreement. Yeah.
Okay, do you think they like you think like on their first date she had to
Yeah.
get him to sign an NDA?
I think third parties were involved pretty early on, like maybe before they exchanged phone numbers.
Oh, you think that early? Like
Oh
the end
yeah, because what if like I mean, I
right.
guess she could just get a new phone number, but like I don't know, you can't there's like a lot of imagine if he was like a nut job and started posting like where she was
True.
or like things like any kind of there's a lot that goes into her both of them, but obviously particularly her like life
I
that it wouldn't matter to a normal person if you were like meeting Shelby in Kentucky. But like if you say that about Taylor Swift, like people will get on airplanes.
I know.
So
Okay, my second part to this question is do you think
wait, do you think they have an NDA?
I do think they have an
Okay,
NDA. Don't know like what the NDA covers.
sure.
And that
Imagine if he started like leaking Reputation, Taylor's version titles.
I know, but okay, I'm just thinking so like I get it. I get it from a business standpoint, like she has to have an NDA, right?
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
because of that. But at the same time, as a personal, you want to trust this man to
No. She
not need,
she
but
is
like
the product.
I know, but you get what I'm saying.
I get what you're yeah, yes. I get
Okay,
it's the same
now
argument as like a prenuptial agreement. Like you don't want to say that you want a prenup because it's like suggesting divorce in some capacity and like you're getting married. You don't want to ever suggest divorce, but like
well, yes, but like also like if even if you're just not just Travis Kelsey, because Travis Kelsey is someone like
right.
Travis Kelsey not marrying Taylor Swift should get a prenup, let alone.
Yeah.
Anyways, do you my next part of this is do you think his family
Yes.
had to sign NDAs as well?
Yes. And I don't think that like all happened at once perhaps, but I think like yeah, cuz there's even been like interviews Kylie
Yeah.
Kylie's done or like clips from her pod or whatever. And in my opinion, she sounds a little not guarded, but like rehearsed or like particular regarding questions about Taylor.
No, so I agree, and that's kind of where this whole thing came up. My whole
Yeah.
thought on this. I was actually, I think, listening to Travis talk about her on his podcast because even then he's very like quiet and doesn't give
Yep.
a lot. But I also don't know if that's more just like out of respect for them and her.
I think from him it is, but you can't, I don't think you can expect that from like anybody who might find out you're dating, like in your family or what, like imagine it's like Thanksgiving and Taylor gets wasted and is like throwing up in, I know this is like far-fetched, but like throwing up in the living room. And like Kylie Kelsey goes and tells that on a podcast.
Right. Okay.
Like, no.
Okay, but who else? So like where do we draw the line on the NDA? So like
Right.
anytime she goes to one of Travis's games, is like anybody walking into the suite signing an NDA?
No, I think no, because she's like in glass, like on display at those, perhaps.
Do you
You're
ever
saying like, does like Brittany Mahomes have an NDA with Taylor Swift?
does she?
I
They go to dinner a lot.
Yeah, that's like a tough one. And maybe Taylor has certain parameters on her own of like, um, I'm not going to talk about, do, it's like, I'm not going to drink with, talk about, whatever certain things with certain people unless I have those things in place. Like, we
Well,
can go to dinner and
so
I can be fakey with you.
one episode of New Heights, the producer Brandon, who if you watch New Heights, they talk about him a lot. He got to go into the suite. I think it was like one of the playoff games, and he was like starstruck that he was meeting Taylor Swift. And Travis kind of joked with him about like, "Hey, you have an NDA," but it was this. I think this is where my whole mind went.
Interesting.
So I was
Well,
like,
I mean,
huh.
his is definitely from like work. Yeah.
Or was it when he was walking into the suite?
What do you mean? Oh, you think they were like, here, sign this?
I don't know. Just
No, because like Travis records at home, doesn't he? Like, there's a chance Taylor's like around and Brandon's like calling or on site or whatever to like help with production or there. You know how like you and I say all kinds of unbelievable stuff when we're getting on the podcast before we go live? And like, if Hofo edited that stuff into the podcast on purpose or on accident, I'd kill him. So
you're acting like we say like really bad things.
no, I'm
But
saying like I knew you were pregnant like, a while ago. Imagine if like we were talking about that before
right.
we hit go and he just like let it roll. That
Okay,
would be
fine.
like a big problem.
All right, so we got to get Hoppo to sign an NDA.
Yeah. Yeah. Hope needs an NDA.
Just kidding. Okay. Anywho,
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
I probably have more to say on this, but I'm just curious. I just need to know. I don't know.
I think that the whole situation has to be fascinating. I mean, like he probably knows like door codes to get into her house or like he probably knows like the guy that flies the plane. I don't know. There just seems like a lot of safety. I'm not even thinking about legal, like that kind of stuff, but like safety logistics that if you become like Matt, what's his name? The bad guy?
Huh?
Maddie. I keep wanting to say Maddie Wilpers, but he's like from Peloton. Her ex, the rat boy. Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift's ex. Is his name
Oh,
Matt?
Healy? That's not like an
Maddie Healy. I'm just saying, like, imagine if Matty Healy hadn't very clearly signed an NDA. He would be, he could be like, you know, doing all kinds of stuff. Like, Taylor wants you to pick her up in New Mexico, send the plane. Or like, hey fans, Taylor's garage code is 6349. Buzz yourself in
okay.
anytime.
Yeah, but like when it comes to that, like her security is like always there.
Mostly, I don't know. Do you think she has a guy like sleeping at her house?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I mean, probably.
Yeah, I do.
I guess I didn't think about that. So you think like when she's having like romantic date night with Travis, there's like a guy standing outside the room, like just
No, 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 no.
making
I,
sure.
I don't know where that van is at the time, but like I'm just like I want to know what's in this NDA because is it more than just reputation?
Right,
Team
right. No,
like
I think it's definitely like pretty far and wide.
and
I
I
would
just
imagine.
I just like want to know when this comes up and it's like, hey, Travis Kelsey wants your number. Okay, well have him sign the NDA and then I'll get back to
Yes.
him. Like I don't that's like
I mean, listen, if you got like an anonymous text and it said like, "Hi, Taylor Swift wants to speak to you." I mean, I'd be like spam probably, but like Taylor Swift wants to speak to you. We just need you to sign this NDA first. Wouldn't you sign it like without even thinking twice?
yeah, Okay, I yes,
So
but
I think
we're
it's just
also
like,
we're nobodies. So
yeah,
like
but he sent her the bracelet. He like initiated. So he was interested. I think he'd
I
sign
know, but
anything.
then when is it when he's like, "Hey, I would really want you to meet my family," and then what is she like?
Hmm.
Okay, we'll get them to sign the NDA first, and we'll go from there. Like,
I think
no,
so.
that's just like I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Interesting thought. To me, yeah, it's, yeah. It's also interesting to me, like, how one directional that must be because like Travis presumably had his own NDA because he's like kind of a big deal, whatever. But like we don't hear again Maddie Healy writing like diss tracks about Taylor Swift, but she's clearly written a bunch about him. So like
Fair.
how is that allowed?
I don't know.
And like maybe he truly doesn't care and that's why he hasn't done it. I don't know. I don't hear like John Mayer writing Taylor Swift diss tracks or like any number of these men writing or even really saying. I've never actually heard like
Yeah,
negative press out of any of them about her.
yeah, but also you have to keep. I mean, sure, okay, but like also Swifties are batshit crazy,
Vicious, sure.
and if I was any of them and you don't want to get canceled, you just keep your mouth shut.
True.
But
True.
there's a lot of people who don't like Taylor Swift who would probably go nuts for that. So who?
Right. Yeah.
Well, look at Kanye. I have no idea.
Oh my gosh, Kanye. Well, Kanye is a dumpster fire. Kanye is like makes Hollywood studios look like the most organized theme park of all time. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Ah.
All right. Now we have 10 minutes left.
Now we have 10 minutes left.
That was really
I
important though.
No, I agree. And now I'm gonna be thinking about that.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I hope everybody else is, and I would like everybody's opinion on this matter. I've asked a few people.
We'll have to we'll roll it on the in the group in
Anne
the
thinks that
Facebook
there
group.
is no NDA.
She's nuts. There's no world.
Well, I think maybe she like agrees that like Taylor and Travis have one to some level, but she's not totally on board that the family has one.
No, they definitely have one. Think about like you just think like universally all people are like classy, upstanding citizens. Like, okay,
No, I don't. I don't. And I think people like the Kelseys, I do think are like down to earth, good humans.
sure.
However, money talks.
That's what I'm saying. If some
Yeah,
reporter came to Donna Kelsey, who's
yeah,
like running ads for like Depends and cruise ships regularly, she'll do anything for $1, which I love.
yeah.
Imagine if somebody said, like, here's $1 million, tell us the truth about how many times a day Taylor Swift poops. She would say,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think money talks to
yes.
yeah,
I would
yeah,
even wager to guess that some people, maybe not again, like you said, the Kelseys, but like some people would lie. Like they would just like make stuff up for the money that
right.
might not even be true. And we don't even see that happening.
But that's where I'm trying to say of like, let's take the Kelseys out of it because I do think they're like good humans. Now I'm talking about not so much strangers, but like the randos that are in the suite, like the
True.
football.
Yeah, but yeah, I think there's some,
Or at her little party that he threw her for the end of the
yeah,
Eras, like that was like the whole Kansas City football team. And like I love football, but like you got some shady people in the
sure,
league.
sure, sure.
So like what is keeping them from keeping their mouth shut?
Well, but like that to me, I mean, unless again, we're gonna go to like Taylor Swift being drunk as the scenario, but like unless she gets like wasted and does something crazy, what's she gonna do at like a 5 hour party dancing and drinking that would
That's
be
fair.
like
But people would
the
have paid
photographs? Perhaps there's like a
people would have
no photograph clause.
photographs early.
People what?
People would have paid to get those photographs like
Yes.
in real
Maybe
time.
maybe it's again, we're not lawyers. We're not a lot of you and I aren't a lot of things we have to disclose on this podcast. Um, But maybe there's like something akin to, do you know when you're at Disney and to me it's like all the time there's some signage around that says like, for example, today we're filming for the Christmas parade. If you're
Okay.
here, you could be on TV. If you don't want to be on TV, you can leave. Like,
Yeah.
we're not promising that you're going to be on TV, but also like you can't mess it up. You
Yeah.
can't be mad. You can't whatever. Maybe when you're walking into the suite, it's like you've waived all rights of existing. Please, maybe they all have to put their phone in a little baggie. I don't know.
I don't know.
They do that like when you go to some shows in New York. You
Yeah, we
have
did.
to like lock your phone in a bag. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but like, you really think Taylor Swift's like nobody can have their phone around me? Like, I don't think she's not like that. I don't know.
I don't think that you're giving it like a negative connotation. I think that perhaps it could just be like a safety thing I mean, you're right. I don't know.
Because
Um,
some of these people are just going to the game to like watch their husband play, and they're like,
right,
"Oh, I
right.
have my
And
phone out because Taylor Swift's here." Like, no, I don't believe that's the case.
well,
She
and
would
like,
do that.
what about the people who are like working, like bringing food into the suites and stuff?
See,
Like,
I don't
is
know.
that just like a universal rule? Like, if you're working in the suites, you can't have your phone? Because I used to work in the suites at Penn State, and I definitely had my phone all the time, especially when they were empty before they came. There's my favorite photo of all time is these two, like, clearly very affluent businessmen in suits at Penn State, photographed next to each other, blowing bubbles, like in the suite, huge, framed on the wall, huge. And I'm just like, that's what's up. But do I have a photo of that photo? 100%. Should I? Probably not. People do stupid stuff. Have I shown it to people? No, I don't think so. But like, I don't know. Is
I
that allowed? Did I break a rule? And that's not even like NFL.
I don't know. I just have a
Yeah,
lot of questions.
I do too. Maybe on next week's episode, are any lawyers available? We would like to interview you and ask more about.
I really would like the group to chime in on this, please.
Yeah, I agree. I'm in. I want to know.
Okay. Anywho,
And I'm going to draft an NDA for you.
for what?
I know you already know too much. A retroactive NDA.
Okay. I no, you should have an NDA and you already broke it for all the embarrassing photos that you have of
Oh
me
my
that you
gosh.
still proceed to post.
I have, maybe that's why like Taylor Swift doesn't have, does she have like long-term friends, like old friends?
Yeah, Abigail.
Okay. Well, maybe, I mean, Abigail definitely has an NDA, but like, I could
Yeah,
torch this place
Abigail,
with photos of you. And you're not even doing anything wrong. It's just like,
but Abigail has been friends since before she was famous. So when did
right,
she
right.
sign an NDA?
Uh, I don't know. I think Taylor also was like known for okay, another uh legal thing. Think about like the friendship she has with or did with like Olivia Rodrigo, and then there's like she sued her, right? For like
I don't know
rights.
if that's true.
No, I think that is real, but I think the way that Taylor frames those things is like it's not personal. My legal team is forcing me to do this. It's not personal. If I had a
I
right, I wouldn't be doing this, but like they're going to make me, so I have to do it.
I do agree that she probably has one crazy heck of a like legal team that does
Yeah.
her do things that not even like she was questioning for her own safety and her business. Like she is
Sure,
her
sure.
okay, but like I don't know. I'm
Well,
just thinking
but
like
that's I'm
she's
saying
going
like
over to Thanksgiving and she's like, okay, but my lawyers are coming with me to send the sign so you can sign the NDA before I come in. That's
well, but
like
that think about this like I didn't research this. I didn't know this was a rabbit hole we were going to go down today, but my understanding of the Olivia Rodrigo stuff is like Taylor helped her write some of it and then she like wasn't properly attributed or like wasn't getting royalties or some sort of like minutia. But think about what we know about other people Taylor collaborates with, like Ice Spice, who's always with her, like in the suites, hanging out, whatever. Like, what's the girl's
Grace.
name? Gracie, yeah, Gracie Abrams. And they are like burning the apartment down, writing a track. And like there's footage, they have like the
Right.
whatever. I don't think that you ever enter into those things. I think knowing what we know about positive relationships she has, I would assume she went into a relationship with Olivia Rodrigo type with the same intentions. Like they probably hung out, drank too much wine, lit some stuff on fire. I don't know, whatever they do with their spare time. And like, I don't think there was like, uh, oh, now all of a sudden like stuff's bad, so I'm gonna sue you. I think it's like just has to be part of it
Well,
from the beginning because you never
okay,
know.
but now we're fully talking about business that became friendships, right? Like she didn't go like Gracie Abrams, like they were working together to write a song. So now you're talking about business.
But
So
is that correct? Do you think that all of those relationships started as business collaborations, or do you think that they started as friendships and then Taylor was like, in the same way that like when I had a Glow Forge, you were like, "Hey, I'll throw you some business because we're friends and like, let's work together."
I I'm going off of like Gracie Abrams, which I don't know a whole lot about her, but I know that she like wasn't a whole I feel like she wasn't popular until like recently.
Yeah, but that's like the nicest thing you could do for a friend, right? If you're just
Yeah, but I
hanging out,
don't know if they were
because
really friends. She's really young.
yeah, but she's like a Nepo baby. Her dad is J.J. Abrams.
I don't know.
So I'm,
I
I'm
like
sure she was like
that
in some
that song.
circles.
That's so true is a freaking bop.
Yeah, I agree. It's a great song.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, the whole thing is fascinating, and I'm sure there are like really good, really well produced Taylor Swift podcasts that know all about this. Maybe we should listen to them. I want to touch on one singular hobby before we go here, and it's podcasts. Um,
Okay.
You mentioned that you listen to podcasts. I also would love to be someone who listens to podcasts, and I listen to one in particular, but I have trouble finding time to listen to it. I'm thinking about like if I wanted to pull the tapes on some Taylor Swift podcasts, I could probably find the right podcast, but when are you like putting them on? Because I'm only putting them on in the car, and I'm really not in the car that much.
So I used to like put them on in the car and I used to leave the house. I don't really do
Yeah.
that a lot now. And
Right.
I used to do it like I used to listen when I was packaging orders.
Right.
Like I still sometimes do. But lately I'll put them on like if they a lot of them go on YouTube now.
Mm-hmm.
So do we. And
Yeah. Find us on YouTube.
I'll watch them as if I'm watching TV.
You'll watch them, like you'll sit down and watch them, or you have it on while you're doing something.
Well, so we didn't really get into the hobbies and habits conversation today, but one of my habits,
I can't wait.
I sit on the couch a lot,
Oh my God.
um, especially pregnant. So sometimes there's nothing on TV. There's not a whole lot of shows I have to watch, so I'll put on a podcast.
That's unbelievable. And are
Why?
you alone or is Kyle with you?
So a lot of the times Kyle doesn't care about the podcast I'm listening to.
Right?
Um, so yeah, it's just me
Well, so like what's Kyle doing?
working or yeah.
Okay. Wait, so hold on. I just want to set the scene here. So Kyle is like typity typing away at work and you're just like lounging on the couch.
Okay.
I'm just
Well,
like, no, I know you do sit on the couch and I do too, like a lot, but I just can't. We're an hour long episode. I feel like that's pretty normal. You're telling me for at least an hour, you're sitting on the couch, Kyle's at work, and you're not doing anything.
yeah, yesterday I sat on the couch for almost an hour, actually longer than an hour, and watched two episodes of the Kardashians.
Well, but
So
you're pregnant. It's
yeah,
like different. I'm talking about like months ago when you were not pregnant.
I
Or
probably didn't. podcast.
Okay, so it's like a pregnancy specific hobby.
Yeah.
Great.
I
That's
or
that's
like,
good data for the podcasters to
well,
know.
or if there's like a podcast that I'm really interested in,
Yeah.
like I'm looking forward to it as if I'm like watching a show, then
But okay, what makes you look forward to a podcast? Is it like because you love New Heights or is it because you know like a particular episode is coming out?
like a particular episode, like I like Call Her Daddy, and she has
Yeah,
a lot of good guests on there. So if
I'm
it's
over
like,
her.
okay, well, if she has a good guest
Yeah.
interested in watching, like I don't listen to all Call Her Daddy episodes, but like
Yeah.
if it's a guest that I'm looking forward to watching, like this week, she hasn't said it, but it's somebody from Gilmore Girls. I will be watching that on the TV as if it's a TV show because I'm really interested.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
Like
And
I'm not watching like a self-help podcast on
no.
TV.
No, I no, like yeah, I get that I get. I'm not saying it's not entertaining. I'm
I'm
sure it's
watching
fascinating.
a podcast to like get the tea for
But
shit that I shouldn't care about.
and where are you? Obviously, Call Her Daddy is the number one most popular podcast of all time. But like where are you finding other podcasts to listen to?
Well, I for a while there was into Caitlin Bristow, who was on The Bachelorette.
Oh yeah, you were.
I listened to her like every single week. She kind of lost it for me, so I don't really listen to her anymore. Um,
Or even to like Kristen Cavallari. Didn't she have a podcast?
she did have a podcast, and she had one with like Steven, and they like did recaps of Laguna Beach. I was into that a little bit when I was packaging orders, but he became too whiny, so I couldn't listen to that. Um, I'm not like I guess I don't listen to a whole lot of podcasts anymore.
Okay, so you're sitting on the couch for 1 hour a week to listen to Call Her Daddy. Got it. Great.
But only if she has a good
And
guest.
only right. So you're right. Very limited commitment here. I love that. You made it sound like you're sitting on the couch for like 23 hours a day just watching podcasts.
No, I,
You're like one day once, but that's fascinating. You wouldn't put on like Roni, like a Housewives episode?
I don't watch that.
Okay.
I
This has
should.
been great. Um, Tune in next week where we might actually talk about habits and hobbies,
I'm
but
sorry about
we're not
everybody.
sure. No, I mean, I think it was a fascinating.
That
Uh,
is one of my honestly, it's one of my hobbies, but it's one of my habits is like one of my hobbies is Taylor and Travis.
yep.
And like a habit of mine is just like going into like a rabbit hole of like all the who, what, when, ands, buts, ifs, you know?
Yeah.
I want
No,
to know all the things.
I think that's totally valid.
Yeah. So that's my first hobby habit.
Hobbit,
Hobbit.
Hobbit.
Clearly
I
I
like
need to
it.
get a life. Okay.
No, I don't think that at all. I love like real. We're here for the real talk. If you said that your hobbies included like watercolor painting, 10-mile runs, just like a bunch of weird, like overcommitted super hustle stuff, I'd be either thinking you were lying or concerned for your mental health.
See?
So I think there's like a nice balance. Don't you and myself too, both are like hard on ourselves about like, I sit on the couch, but really, do you like you before you were ever pregnant, we used to talk about a lot that you would sit, quote unquote, sit on the couch, but like you'd be working because your business is on your phone because like Instagram.
Fair.
So it's like the location in
Okay.
which where you work is kind of irrelevant.
But before we get off here, so what do you do on the couch?
Me,
Yeah, you're watching
I
Housewives?
I would say that I never sit on the couch unless AJ's with me. And then there's like usually we're watching something together. Um yeah, I just feel, especially as like a person, I do work in preschool and stuff, but like I'm not working a super hustle job. I just have like guilt about sitting by myself on the couch. So I'll definitely sit and do nothing on my phone, but I'll do it from the comfort of like the bar, the like, the kitchen, so it
What?
looks like
So
I'm
you,
doing something.
so you can get up quick when you hear him coming down the stairs?
Yes, 100% so that I can get up quick when I hear him coming down the stairs. Yes, you got it.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, we watched a lot of Roni. Did you get into White Lotus?
No,
You
Kyle's,
gotta. It's so good.
no, it's not for me.
You don't like? Oh, okay. All right. Well, next week will be a solo episode because Shelby is officially canceled. So,
Well, time to end.
oh my gosh. Please, there's a post going in our Facebook group if you want to chime in about your hobbies and habits.
Yes.
We want to know everything. I want to know if you've tried a hobby or a habit and failed epically. I want to know about how many times you've started and stopped sourdough bread. I want to know about the time that you attempted to go skiing and broke your leg. I want to know it all.
All right.
So let us know.
All right.
All right. See you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.